Welcome to The Impossible Shift. I'm your host, Jennifer Benson. Every person has a story, a moment that changed them, a challenge that tested them, a choice that shaped who they would become. On this podcast, we explore those stories through conversations about healing, identity, resilience, purpose, and personal transformation. We'll uncover the lessons that emerge when people face life's most difficult moments and choose to keep moving forward. Because transformation rarely happens all at once. It happens one choice at a time. Thank you for joining us. Let's begin. Welcome to The Impossible Shift. I'm your host, Jennifer Benson, and I am here today with Denise Ann Willis, who is a life coach and author, profoundly committed to empowering women to rebuild their lives with confidence and self-love. With over 30 years of overcoming personal adversities, including toxic relationships, Denise leverages her experiences to inspire and guide women on their path to recovery. Her book, The Book on Loving Yourself, stands as a beacon of hope, offering practical tools for healing and empowerment. You can be sure to find her website at deniseannwillis.com today. Denise?
Hi, Jennifer. Thanks for inviting me onto the show. Yes, just like you, I wrote my memoir. This is my book, The Book on Loving Yourself.
Love it.
And amazing what I know you feel the same way. There were some very deep healings that happened with this book. And that wasn't why I wrote it. I just took a book course and started writing. But there was some stuff that happened in there that just is amazing. But there are little things behind each and every chapter, little takeaways. So if somebody wants to get the book, that alone can help them. And if not, they can also reach out to me on my website. But I'm just going to go ahead and bring up the background, that we all have our story. It starts somewhere. And like many of us, we had good parents, but they did the best they could. And they themselves sometimes were not raised by the best parents. However, that being said, my mother, everything was conditional with her. She was cold, very conditional. The only way I got any attention was I became a people pleaser. And if any of y'all know what that does, it just, you give all your power away because you don't know you even have power. So it also made me a magnet for men that could control me. So when I got to be into the wild child teenage years, which most of us have been there, you don't always want to admit it. But anyway, I just went from one abusive relationship to other. One of them, I was beaten and raped. I mean, I went through some bad stuff. And with the Lord's help, I was able to progress, but I didn't learn anything because I was just repeating a lot of the same patterns. So I get into emotionally abusive relationships, which honestly, I think sometimes are harder to get over. If you're not hurt physically, emotionally, it just takes longer. So I went through a lot of, I've been married, don't freak out, 7 times.
Oh!
And now my 7th is my soulmate. He's a great guy. And if I hadn't done the work, I never would have met him. So I was trying to because I was raised in the 50s, so I was trying to do the right thing by marrying and all that stuff. But anyway, long story short, none of them worked out, and they were all very, very toxic, very abusive relationships that just did nothing but just, destroy whatever self-esteem I might have had, which probably wasn't a whole lot. So one of the things that really helped me is my last relationship was with a narcissist. And after he just took all my reality and destroyed it and made me doubt every single thing, I finally I fell on my knees and I said, God, what am I doing wrong? And I heard Spirit say, you're looking outside of yourself for love.
Oh, wow. Yeah, right.
And that, I got goosebumps, God bumps. That was my turning point. That's when I reached out to a coach who he's so wonderful. He put her at a ladies' luncheon and she just got certified and she handed me her business card and I kept it until I had a bad day at work. And then I called her one day and was just venting like, oh, I don't want to stay here anymore. It's a males club and we females don't get to speak our voice. And I said, I don't have a choice. And she said, you always have choices. And I know you understand that.
Right.
We don't let life, the circumstances of life control us. We have choices and how we respond to them.
Yes, because the moment we give away our choices, we give away our power.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right. So luckily for me, I called her that day and she gave me some very insightful information. And I wish I still had. I had a little sticky put on the computer.
Yeah.
For 3 years, I was able to stay at that job. Anyway, she became I started coaching with her and she became a wonderful coach and a mentor. And she taught me so many life skills that I didn't have. Boundaries, self-care, gratitude. I'm a firm believer in affirmations. I think some of us know they rewire the neural pathways in your brain. It's not just repeating something. Eventually, your subconscious and your heart will grab it and it will be true for you. So I remember the first time I did that. Louise Hay, I'm sure some of you know her book, Louise Hay. She recommends doing it looking in the mirror. And the first time I did it, I said, I'm a good person. And I burst into tears. It took 2 weeks before I was able to really say it and believe it. I think in my heart I believed it, but for some reason the heart and the head weren't in alignment. But after about 2 weeks of doing that, it finally became ingrained. So I'm so grateful also for learning about boundaries. I did not know. My coach, Martha was her name. I was able to do boundaries at work, which was fabulous because I finally was able to break through the men's club and get my voice heard, which is so important. You have to be able to speak your truth. You cannot just totally shove it down. It's damaging to us. So, even if they didn't do what I said or recommended, at least I got to speak up. So right. that was important. But also with the boundaries, I realized there were people in my life that were taking advantage of me and I had to let them go. And that was kind of hard, especially for them, because I was probably like one of their most normal friends. But I talked to them and also wrote them a letter saying, I'm doing my own healing and I have to do this for me. We had a wonderful friendship. Doesn't mean we can't reconnect in the future, but I just have to have this space to heal. So actually, after 20-something years, one of the girls saw my post and she reconnected with me just 2 weeks ago. So,
wow, how is that?
God, he's just so good. He's so divine timing, always.
I love that.
I know. So that's one of the things that I do with my coaching is I basically teach life skills. I also have had several of my clients, one of them in California is working in a narcissistic, toxic work environment. And we're trying to work through that with her. I mean, every day she goes in there and they're going to gaslight her. They're going to try to mess up her the work. Luckily, she knows how to save everything in files and has stuff where she can, she doesn't want to have to defend herself, but she needs to in order to keep the job until another time. I had another client that flew in from Chicago with just her luggage and her child. And she met me at a book signing I was doing. And she had left her narcissistic husband. And she left the shop and then came back and said, I just have to buy your book. So she bought my book and we did some coaching together. And she has since had to leave her mother's house where she was staying because apparently the stepfather was doing something to the little girl. I think it was just discipline. It was just disciplining.
Oh, okay.
Nothing bad.
Okay.
Anyway, she ended up at a campus somewhere here in Texas and has written me, and I've talked to the director of the campus, And I'm starting to investigate that for other clients of mine that need to go somewhere. So, I mean, my coaching has just come full circle as far as I've actually opened up a outreach program where I'm working with some homeless people at a shelter and some sex trafficked girls as a mentor. So my heart is so for women to learn to love themselves because they're so worth it.
That is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. God took this accountant of 40 years that hid behind a computer. It did spreadsheets. I still like them, but has put me out in the public, and I was very shy. It took me a long time to get not be so introverted. But my heart does just come alive. It comes on fire when I can help women. I'm just truly, truly blessed to be in this. And I do remember telling my coach, she gave me a lot of her materials before she passed and went to be with the Lord. And I just said, yes, I'll be a coach one day. And that was 20-something years later. But I finally, that's what I did.
That's so wonderful. Like, you are literally changing, women's lives one person at a time.
Yes.
In a way that, in a time when they need it the most,
Mm-hmm.
in a way that they need it the most.
Right. Right.
That's phenomenal.
One of the things I wanted to say, one of the things I like to say is fill your own cup and you can serve from the overflow.
True.
Because for some reason, society seems to think that that it's selfish if we do something self-care, light a candle, meditate, walk outside. My thing is bubble baths. Take a bubble bath.
Yeah, bubble bath, right?
But do just one thing for yourself. It's so, just, once again, it's like a bank account. If you keep giving, you become bankrupt. So you need deposits back in. Hopefully good friends, also self-care, different things. I'm also a big believer in doing a gratitude journal. I don't write, but about 3 things. I don't write a whole page because I'm always in a busy hurry, but I'm like, okay, what are the 3 things that I'm grateful for that happened either today or yesterday? And some days I just put out to the side miracle because I see God has done some miracles. And then if you ever get in a funk, just go back and read that stuff. It is just so uplifting.
True. That's a good point.
The universe the universe will give you more. When you're grateful, it will give you more good. So I'm a firm believer that the Lord loves us and he wants us to do good. He wants to give us life more abundantly, but also at the same time, we need to be grateful for what we have.
You are giving away gold right now. Do you know that? Gold.
I hope
yeah. Even if our listeners today just do the gratitude journal. I mean, for real. It really does work.
It does work.
Yeah.
It does work. And in your other podcast I watched you with Trent, and I'm going to mention him on Conqueror's Crew because I want him to get a little credit.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
He is a good guy.
It was a lot of fun.
I love his energy. Trent's awesome.
But one of the things, you were talking about with him is mindset.
Yes.
It starts up here. We can blame everybody else, but in the end, it starts with us. And you said it also that sometimes the most uncomfortable things are the things that heal us. We have to get out of our comfort zone or we're not going to grow. Yeah.
I mean, it is so easy to say it's the other guy's fault.
Right.
But, it's you who gave them your power, right?
Right. So I also I've got like 60 lessons. So I'm hoping that a couple girls will take me up on my offer. I'm going to offer some free coaching at the end.
Okay.
But I would like to run 1 or 2 of those lessons by them just to get some feedback. But one of the ones that my coach taught me was communications or iMessages. And there's a way that you can speak to someone non-blameful and get your point across. So just real simple tips. I mean, I don't know, unless somebody was raised by Gloria Vanderbilt and went to etiquette school, maybe they learned some of these things. I don't know. But I just really think that there's so much that I can share with people and want to share. And one of the big ones too is forgiveness. And that's where writing this book, my mother, so cold and I did not get what I needed as for the love, and so I looked elsewhere on all the wrong places. And as I was writing the book, the Lord revealed to me that I had forgotten. Mother had had a little child about 6 years before I was ever born. And Linda was her name. She was only had part of a heart, and back then they called them blue babies because of the circulation, their color of their skin, the circulation. She lived to be 9 months old before she passed. And once again, I'm getting God bumps, goosebumps.
Yeah.
I feel like that was why she just couldn't open up her heart.
Yeah.
So by writing, I called the editor. I said, you have to stop. I have to put this in the book. I owe it to her, because I had just spent so many years doing the forgiveness thing, and I had about that much left, and I wanted it to be gone. And I realized that once I put this in the book and gave her credit for what she'd been through, it was gone. Finally. And people, forgiveness is not for them. It's for you. It frees you.
Mm-hmm. It does.
So, sorry if I got emotional.
No. I mean, you are speaking truth right now. Truth about it. Forgiveness is not about them, because whether they know it or not, whether they know you've forgiven them or not, is really irrelevant, because they're going on about their lives. It's you and your heart.
Yeah. And what do they say? That little saying is like, it's like drinking poison and thinking that something's going to happen to
I'm drinking this poison. Are you upset now? Like, no.
Yeah.
I'm over here.
So the other thing with forgiveness, is I always feel like my coach used to always say 2 things can't occupy the same space. So if you have that unforgiveness, that little hateful feeling, there's no room for love to get in there. So once you can finally release it, you have more space for love to come into your life. That was a little tidbit, little gem she told me years ago, and I always believed it. It was like, yeah, really, two things can occupy the same space. And she was talking more in our heart. So once again,
and that's beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was very blessed to have her in my life. She became a close friend and a mentor.
I love that.
And I'm so grateful. And I just, like I said, I want to pay it forward, because she changed my life for the better. And I know I can help many people. I've already helped quite a few. I can help many more. So that's my passion. And I'm hoping at some point I can do I've done some local speaking, but as I said, I've done outreach with the homeless. Went to the chapel, and 2 people got saved. I was real excited about that.
Nice.
And then on the sex trafficked girls, the mentoring, they're excited that maybe I can do a workshop and do a group of girls and bring in some of these life skills. So I feel like the Lord has just really pushed me at this age. I'm 74, and it's never too late to start.
Oh my goodness. For those of you who can't see her.
Yeah.
She's gorgeous.
Well, I just think it's that inner light. He talks about it, let your light shine, and he's got me on fire. So
yes,
that's one of the reasons I think maybe I radiate some of that.
You too.
I have good, my parents maybe not did the best job, but they gave me some good genes.
She's great genes.
So I'll take that. I'll work through the other stuff already. So anyway, once again, we're getting close to the half hour.
Yes.
People, love yourself, ladies. You are worth it. Yes, your children, your husbands, whatever, your dogs. I have fur babies. But it's not selfish to put yourself first, because the truth is, the more you fill your own cup, the more you can actually give, because you just have more energy. And I'm just saying, you're worth it. And I don't know why we women give so much of ourselves away, and it's wonderful, but at the same time, we need to have something coming back in, So whether you do a girls' retreat or have lunch with your besties or something, try to do something for yourself, like once a week. It's not like I'm not asking you to go on a 40-day cruise. That'd be nice, but something. Just don't put yourself last, because you'll see the more you learn to love yourself, people respond to you differently. it's pretty exciting. So we can't change anybody but ourselves, but when we change, sometimes people respond differently to us. So
All right.
I would like to just mention that website again, if that's okay, Jennifer.
Go for it.
My website, deniseannwillis.com, and it's just ANN, no E. On that website, if you scroll down just a little bit, I've just put a new quiz on there. So you can take a 2-minute quiz and see where you stand on your self-worth. And you'll get a report that will come back to you after it does the grading or scoring. And I would love for the first 3 women that take that quiz, if you will do that, I will offer 30-minute coaching calls. And if one of you is really interested to go further, I'll see if I can give you 1 or 2 of my lessons. I'd love your feedback on it. So I just want to share that I want to help women. If you hear my voice and you hear the excitement in it, I want you to be able to be that excited as well. And on the website as well is free resources, tons of free resources. So go on there. There's blogs, there's not lessons, but bonus material on codependency. That's another thing. I was diagnosed as codependent. And so that was something I had to work over. I seemed to like to fix other people when in reality it was me that needed the fixing. Okay, Jennifer.
All right. Thank you, Denise. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in today to The Impossible Shift. If you want to learn more about Denise, you can visit her website, or you can find information about her on the podcast description. There you'll see information about her, including her socials, or you can connect with Denise and find out more about The Impossible Shift. Until next time, take care. Thank you for joining me for this episode of The Impossible Shift. If today's conversation resonated with you, I invite you to share it with someone who may need to hear it. You can learn more about The Impossible Shift, explore resources, books, coaching, and upcoming projects at theimpossibleshift.com. Until next time, remember, choice is your power. I'll see you at the next episode.